almost forgot. I said I was gonna start back up on Thursday morning. So good morning. How are you guys doing? How are y'all doing? What's new in the world? Uh, Orange Cheeto Head. It, I don't even want to talk about that mess. But uh, just been working, trying to survive, trying to get through all of this mess. Um, Trying to get down the road. Just made me a cup of coffee. I decided I'm gonna try something else. We're going to go um, do some Bustelo coffee. I got some Bustelo coffee, mixed it in with my regular schmegler morning coffee. Um, that might help me with the afternoon crash out. Usually, when you take all this stuff to wake yourself up, um, you kind of crash out later on, and to override that, I start drinking monster drinks, which is not healthy. I've accepted that, but when we gotta survive, we gotta get down the road, we gotta do what we gotta do. You know what I mean? Um, but it's it's a part of my life. It's a part of what I do. um, I'm trying to get used to these lower mileages. It has not been easy because I get paid by the mile. Um, I could easily be and easily do like other drivers. I could jump ship and try to get more miles. But from what I know, it's like this everywhere. You know, it is because of this president, because of this economy. Um, I can only get what I can only get. Good morning. Uh, Good morning. I can only get what I can only get. Uh, and that's what came up with certain ideas that I'm going to be talking about this week. Um, and that's what it really was. I needed a break. I've been going nonstop for a good minute now, and running. You hit a plateau, and you run out of stuff to talk about. And I got tired of flashbacks and having you know personal problems affect me, because as an empath, it actually affects me. I don't just remember it. It's like it's going on right then and there. And we've made jokes about it, and but it started to bother me, and I don't much like doing stuff that bothers me at this age. At, at the age of at 57, and I'm going to be 58 in a couple of months. I don't like the negativity. You know what I mean? All I want to do is try my best to lose this weight, to keep it off as best as I possibly can, and keep walking, which I got to get back into. Um, Messing with my lawn, even though I'm highly upset about it's taking so long, blah blah blah, but it's coming. The bottom right corner of my yard, The stolens and the rhizomes are working. That's the stuff. It looks like weeds. It looks like weeds in the lawn, but it's not. It's it's the lawn repairing itself. And I finally got fed up with the all that grass right there because I moved it from the backyard. I dug it up and moved it from the backyard, and it's actually taking place. It's actually doing what I needed to do, and it's growing. It's spreading. Um, Last week I got home late, and I was like, "F this," because I'd seen the lawn that needed to be cut, and I made a commitment to the neighbor. I'm gonna cut your lawn too every time I come home. And it was dark, but I was like, "Screw it," and I cut their lawn, and I cut it because I wanted to cut it, not because I'm looking for something. I cut it because I wanted to cut it, and I cut my lawn. I got out. I had the uh, spotlight. I got a spotlight. And here's the funny thing. You got these scammers. These scammers nowadays. What's going on, Mike? There's these scammers nowadays. So you'll watch out for this. If you get something sent to your house and it has a QR code on it. Oh, good morning, Mr. Terry. It has a QR code on it. Do not scan that QR code. That's a virus that will affect your phone and take all your information. Don't do it. And I had a feeling because we kept on getting boxes of weird stuff at the house, and something said don't, and I kept on trying to return it. I was calling Amazon and everything, and then I finally alerted them. Look, somebody's sending me this junk, and then the lady told me, hey, these scammers they have a QR code. If you scan it, they'll steal all your information. So, and then one of the boxes, it was a spotlight. It was a solar spotlight with a stand and everything. So man, I broke that thing out, and then, man, I was with the lawn, and I was having a ball. I had the spotlight out there, and I just because with my John Deere, which is it's a commercial mower. It ain't like a regular lawnmower. It cuts this stuff real quick. It cuts this stuff really, really quick, and I just blew away, and I was just so it just took kind of took a lot of stress out. Then I walked around to the driveway and seen my muddy driveway from the neighbors. Again, I don't want no problems, but these people are getting on my nerves. Every time it rains, it floods out my daggone driveway now. So now I gotta start buying the stuff. I've eyed out what I want to do to channel this water, but I'm not going to. I'm more focused on uh, bringing my credit cards down right now. So I want to bring these three credit cards down before I start throwing stuff on credit. I'm not, and I don't want to throw them on the credit cards no more. But I got to start buying the pieces. There's a big. It's like 100 and on Amazon it's 200, and on eBay it's like 230. But I found a place where I can get this. It's like a big drain. It's a big drain basin, but you can put pipes in it. I got a real small one, but that can't. That's not working no more. So I got to get a bigger one. And I've already got a pipe buried. I got to do another one, but I want to do a bigger one. So I gotta next time I get home, I'm gonna eye out the price of 100 feet of that pipe, and that drain, that drain, so I can get this stuff to flow through my backyard a whole lot better than it's doing. And I just got to get it done. But it's probably going to be September, October before I can get it fixed. But until then, I have a power washer, but that power washer, it doesn't. It's a strong one. It doesn't get rid of all that mud as quickly as I wanted to. So I went on uh, the blank blank shop and ordered this 4 nozzle swirling power washer. So I'm hoping I can clean up my driveway a lot better with that one. I'm hoping. You know what I'm saying? I'm hoping I can clean up my nozzle, my driveway with that. But and when I get home, I'm gonna do one thing on the Home Depot. I haven't touched my Home Depot credit card in God knows how long. It's $250. It is a smaller top dresser, smaller version of a top dresser. It looks like a spreader, but it's actually a top dresser. And I'm going to experiment with that. I'm going to experiment that with some. I know, Mike. I know, but I'm going to experiment that with. I'm gonna start with some topsoil. They call it screen topsoil, but it really ain't. I'm gonna experiment. I'm gonna try that one. Then there's a mixture of topsoil and sand, which I'm gonna try because my lawn is growing, but it isn't in full growth. In full growth right now. I'm kind of thinking when I get home in July, which is another week, it's going to be in full growth stage. I'm hoping. It's probably not because we haven't had a straight 80-degree temperature. That 80-degree temperature is what um, causes that southern grass to start growing in a stronger boost. I didn't realize that the whole top row of my lawn is not southern grass. It's Kentucky blue. And I was always wondering why this stuff, and even when in the dry season it hangs in there. It's not strong and thick, but it hangs in there. Like right now, because of the rain, it's thickened up. And I'm gonna start cultivating that. And no, you know what I'm gonna do, Mike? I want to test something out. They've got two other ways you can do the seed. Um, you take what's that? It's like a white mesh that you use to strain stuff with. Um, food grade stuff. You know what I'm talking about. And they put all the seed in like a that white mesh and tie it up in like a ball and put it underwater for like 12 hours. They put it underwater with a rock brick under 12 hours and then change the water and do it again and change the water and do it again. In about 3 to 4 days, it'll start, the seed will start germinating. Then you can mix it up with the soil. You know what I'm saying? You can mix it up with the soil. But I'm gonna try what you're saying too, because when I get that little, it looks like a spreader, but it's a taller, and all of the other ones cost an arm and a leg, and I just have to accept reality. I can't afford them. But this one is the cheapest one that I found, and I want to try it out. But like you said, mix that into the soil and spread it out, and uh, what am I trying to get at? Mix that and just spread it out. Oh, okay. Spread it out and let it germinate. But see, a lot of the seeds, I posted up a few times. The soil, I've yet to. I got a thermometer exactly for this. I'm gonna break it out. Bought it last year. I have yet to check the temperature of the ground where I'm at, because that's gonna what make it germinate and all that stuff too. And it's funny because literally the stuff that I know about grass seed, I could actually, if I was home more, I could actually turn that. Oh, okay. I I need to write that one down. Wedding bag. Oh, hold up. Let me write that down. Oh, let me write that down in my big book. You know, let me write that down in the big book. Oh, okay. I wrote that down, and I think I would be a great gardener because I'm not one. I'm one. The way I learn is if I trust you, I'm gonna try what you say, or I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna try and or do something to. Oh, okay. I'm gonna try or do something to figure out what it takes to get it done. And like my um the grass on the other side, it's coming because I stopped watering. I stopped watering. I've saved so much money this month and last month because we have had rain. I haven't had 1 week where it hasn't rained. And with grass, I don't know about any other plant. With grass, you have to have at least 1 inch a week. And I've had more than 1 inch a week, and I am blown away. I've never seen a wet spring like this in Georgia in a long time. I haven't seen it. And even when the wife says, "You look, you might want you don't be surprised that lawn is like thick." I was like, "Okay," but I have a lot of bare spots that I have to top off and get that uh I got to get a topsoil in there so that the stolons and everything will start moving. Same thing in the back. Have patches of red creeping fescue that I threw down, Jesus, like 4 or 5 years ago. That is actually coming back, and I am so excited about that. And it's a weird looking grass, but it grows great under the shade. And I have bought like 100 pounds of the mess, and I threw it out there. But I guess that's one reason why I love the lawn care chemical company that I got. I haven't seen them in a while, so I know they're coming. It's within the next couple of weeks. Whatever they're putting down there brought that mess back. But the dirt next to it is hard. I need to get some topsoil out there, aerate in the back, and gotcha, and aerate the back. But see, I want. I don't just want a lawn. I want a I want my lawn to look like a golf course. I know I'm asking too much because I need to, even if I can get it back to that point, I have to cut it 3 times a week. But if I can get it that if I can get it close to growing like that, then I'll pay my son to come over and cut it when I'm not home. You know what I'm saying? I'll pay him to cut it when I'm not home and keep it to a point because uh I did a series that I think I'm gonna go back to, Lawn Wars. And because my neighbor, it was a brother before the Asian people moved in, he was keeping his lawn pretty green and his stuff was looking better than mine, and I was getting pissed. And I want my lawn to be like that, but I'm not. I don't. We're gonna be talking about that this week. We're gonna be talking about that this week. But hold on 1 second. Sorry about that. All right. It sounded like I was like, oh, okay, he did a bait and switch, but I didn't. I wanted to start out, and I think I'm gonna go back to my old way of having these conversations, which is starting out, just starting talking, and then having the main conversation. Um, when I first started this life change, um, and stuff started going normal. I'll say that. I'm gonna say normal in my life. One of the things that I started going through when I met Norma was that she had invited me to go on a cruise. I've never been on a cruise before. Um, I forgot what ship it was. the the carpeting, some areas looked like shag carpeting. It was hilarious. But we went on a cruise. My first cruise was on Carnival, and from that point on, I was in love. From that point on, I was in love with cruising because I'm ex Navy. I'm used to the water. I'm used. I was used to being um, at the pier, used to seeing the ocean. No, actually not used to seeing the ocean because I actually was on a submarine. You can't see nothing in them things. I was used to the ocean, but I was not used to having such a normal experience. It wasn't drama free, but it was dang near close. And I was 300 plus at the time, and I thought it was free food, and I had a ball eating. And when I didn't have enough money for alcohol, I remember I had enough for one. I had like 1 or 2 beers the whole trip because I seen the beer was $8. Like, I go, what the heck? But when we were dating, did, going on a cruise became a normal thing. Going on a cruise, I remember the first one. I think your first cruise on Carnival, you're blue, and then the second, I think, is red, and then you move up to gold. Well, at that point, I was blue and Norma was gold. She had been going on cruises for a hot minute at that point. And what was happening, she was like the third wheel, and and she would go with this other family, a friend of hers, a family. She'd be rooming with the lady's aunt or a mother, or people like that, and I understand. But once she met me, she had a new cruise partner, and we really joined and kept on going on Carnival because she was so used to Carnival. She was used to, and it was great for me. And I stayed on Carnival. We stayed on Carnival because of the VIP, and it was so fun because you get to collect pins. And they even changed that. It was a pin every time that you went on another cruise. You had the name of the ship, and you had um, what year. And I noticed that a lot of people would put it on their lanyards, and they had all the pins on their lanyards. And I started doing that. So every cruise, I had another pin. Um, because you get to ask for them. Charles would bring me pins from the cruise they went on that we didn't go with them. So it became fun to say, look, these are all the progressive, and people would ask me, no, these are the other ones that I was given to me, blah blah blah. Just telling the truth. But it was the enjoyment of being part of the program. Well, now, I mean, I'm not even mad because at this point I was two, I think 2 or 3 cruises away from becoming platinum, which is a big deal. I was 2 or 3 cruises away from becoming platinum. I mean, I still am. Carnival has changed their VIP program. It's going to be for platinum people. It's going to be for 2 more years. So I don't even know if I'm even going to be able to make platinum. So I'm so done with them because I did not push to go on another cruise company because we were loyal to Carnival. Well, now the corporate greed has stepped in and made it impossible to make it to platinum level because once you get there, you're there for life. Well, they've got too many people that are there for life, so they decided to get rid of it. It's their choice. I'm not. I'm not going to I'm not going to mess up my internal combustion engine and to think on that process of being angry. Well, look, it's their money. It's their money. Screw con. No, it's their money. I'm not gonna be angry, but I'm I, normally I'm gonna be more skeptical when the word comes up. Hey, we're going on this cruise on Carnival. Because I'm not going to give you the whole gist of it because I've been driving. I couldn't do no real homework. But you got to spend thousands and thousands of dollars. You got to spend thousands and thousands of dollars to even make it to gold status now. Thousands and thousands of dollars. And I think to get to platinum, they don't quote me on it. It's like 15 grand or some big behind number that is impossible. And they would, if you use the Carnival credit card, which I do use. Yeah, yep. But see, that the thing is, it took me years. It took me 10 years to convince my wife to go try another cruise line, and we just did. We just did. We tried Royal, and we were both. She's she likes Royal, but she likes Royal because of the amenities. It's not a prejudice thing. It's not a we cooning or whatever. It's not a prejudice thing. It's actually their services have proven to be better. They have fights on there, but their services. We literally had a we were going to a steakhouse for her birthday. We were going to the steakhouse. I paid for everybody. We were going to the steakhouse. But Charles found out that they having a Caribbean night and they were having oxtails. They had oxtails. You can't get a plate of oxtails with meat on it at a regular restaurant. Most of it is bones and juice at a regular restaurant in Atlanta. But this place, you had all you can eat oxtails. All you freaking can eat oxtails. And I'm giving Carnival the side eye. All right. Because guess what? I convinced her to go on another. She she's kind of not feeling the next cruise, but it's the oldest Royal Caribbean ship. We're going for 7 days for my birthday. But then after that, I told her we could find another Oasis class ship. It doesn't need to be the newer ones. You know what I'm saying? But we could find another Oasis class ship. And then I said, well, uh, what about Virgin Voyages? I've been trying to get her to try Virgin because look, at 57, 58, I'm a father, but I done did my job. I'm sick of these kids. I'm sick of the splash rides. I'm sick of these kids ripping and running around. I done did my job. You know what I'm saying? I sound like an old geezer, but I am an old geezer. Only to way my mind would change if my son gave me a grandchild. Other than that, I don't give a flip. I'm sick of these kids. I'm sick of them ripping and running. I'm sick of. I remember one time we was on the celebration. I'm trying to be romantic, walking in the moonlight, and kids ripping and running around us. I said, let's sit in one of these gazebos. It was nothing but little kids sitting in it. Every last for kids and teenagers, all over the daggone place. I even had a run-in with a teenager in the adult section, and I looked at him, and it was a young brother, young little black brother, and I said, nah, player. I'm trying to get away from you, mother effers. You need to get up out of here before I call security. And he gave me the funky look, and I'm not the one. I looked at him and gave him that old man lip. I gave him like I'm not the one. And the reason I'm saying that is look, we don't need to be. You don't need to be mad. You don't even need to be frustrated. No problem. The reason why I ain't caught up on my credit cards because I keep on cruising. If you don't want my money, there's another company that will want my money. If you don't want my loyalty, there's other companies that will want my loyalty. I watch enough videos. I watch, especially at home. I don't watch regular TV no more. I go straight to YouTube. I watch two things. No, actually three things. I watch Asian cooking channels that I love. I watch big trucks, getting stuck, like off-road vehicles. There's off-road vehicles getting stuck and they got to go get them. Or I watch cruise channels. People that talk about that cruising, what ship they've been on, what amenities they had, is it worth it, or blah blah blah. Now, I can get overwhelmed with I'm around a whole lot of people. That's because of the empath in me. But if you leave me the F alone, I can adjust to the situation. People don't understand it. Just leave me alone. Let me adjust. Let me compensate and figure that out. So going on these bigger cruises, I just need to adjust. Uncle Roger. Okay, I'll check him out. I just have to adjust and figure the stuff out. So you know, because we're going on a 14-day Carnival cruise. It's gonna be out of Australia. After that, I'm really not searching for them no more. And that's sad to say. I'm really not searching for them no more. Oh, I know who you're talking about. I know who you're talking about. I and I love. Be honest with you, I love watching, and they've got some channels that they go into ramen noodle shops and shops that are in Japan, and they don't even speak. You just watch them prepping the food, and I just love that mess. And I love the fact that someone gives a flip about their food. You know, um, you that don't go on in Georgia. They don't care. They have they have hookahs and you hellish music, but the food be lousy. Man, no, 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 no. That's why when I see them shorts and other from the other, they be saying this. You need to try this place. It's delicious. Nah, I don't believe you. Nah, I don't believe you. But here's the thing: Carnival's doing a money grab, and you really can't be mad at it because they have to. They're not. They don't want to give out nothing. They've still got billions of dollars from COVID that they need to pay off. This is all this is. They got billions of dollars that they need to pay off from taking all that money out on COVID. Hey, Wellness, how you doing? And it is what it is. But see, I'm only going to try people that treat me right. That deal with me and then want to treat me like I'm somebody. That's the reason. One of the reasons why I like to cruise. That's one of the reasons. And I'm the cheapest person you're ever going to meet in your life. I don't even like to tip because I was not. Black households. You don't realize they don't teach us at a young age how to tip because we don't go out nowhere. I didn't learn till I'm halfway through my adulthood that I should be tipping. Pissed off a lot of people. But the same thing, I learned that on cruise ships, these folks work long hours and put up the facade. They probably don't like me worth a piss, but they say my name, smiling. I look, I enjoy the fantasy, so I tip. But I'm not going to throw out my money and be a part of a loyalty program that is only going to last for the time that I'm on that ship. There are other companies out there. There are other companies that are going to woo me, and that's the main thing is they want to woo you, like woohoo. They want to woo you into sailing on their ship again. And now look, Virgin, from what I see in the videos, has a lot of places. Yes, you're on a cruise ship, but a lot of places where you can work out, um, exercise. They have adult versions of exercise classes. They have like a shaker that it's like a weight that you shake. It looks like you're blanking off, and they make fun of that, but you have fun. They have weight bags on the deck. They have places where you can stretch out, a running track. They have all of this stuff that is part of the healthy lifestyle that you can choose. So I'm gonna miss Guy's Burger. I'm gonna miss Guy's Burger, but the last cruise we was on, that line was wrapping around the corner all day, every day, and it was getting old. But I'm willing to give other, because like I said, I finally got her to go, and we gonna be moving on. And all I gotta do is just send Charles a note. Hey man, we gonna try this cruise ship. Hold up. And next thing you know, he type he yeah, okay, we just booked it. That's the type of friend I got. Or he'll ask me and he say, hey man, we're going to do this. What you want to do? Y'all want to come? I'd say, hold up, let me call Norma. And I'll call her and I'll let him know. Okay, we coming. And I've done that for so long that I'm not. I know y'all are making a money grab, but I'm not, bro. It's okay. It's okay. I'll just move on because this is what usually happens when I get close to something, a plateau like that. Something always happens. Oh well, we're changing. Exactly. And that's what it is. I finally got close to the plateau to say, hey, I'm going to be platinum, and it ain't there no more. Daggone shame. But it's all good. And I got three new short outfits that I'm gonna be taking on this next cruise. Charles wants to do something crazy or spectacular. I just want on my birthday. I just want to relax. We're going to be in Cozumel. There's some places over there, right off at the pier. All I want is a fruity drink or fruity frozen drink, and maybe get a Mexican T-shirt, and I'm good. I don't need much. I'm not the one. I'm not that one that goes over. I don't need all that, bro. And my protest is gonna be very quiet. I'm just gonna move on. Virgin has, I think they said like 27 restaurants. They don't even have a cafeteria. They got 27 restaurants that find. You can find something to eat, find something to enjoy. They have a pajama party. They have a pajama party. I'm like, what? They have a red night. They have, they have more. They have more kind of crazy stuff. They, the the LGBTQ community is more than welcome. A lot of these cruise lines have stuff for folks like that, and do you boo boo? They have folks like that. Not folks like that, but uh, get-togethers, parties, and there's actually a drag show. There's a drag queen show on Virgin Voice. I want to check it out, see what it is. I, I I don't want to put my foot in my mouth, but I want to check it out because I watch it. On there's a video, not a video, but um, on our smart TV, they have for Virgin Voyages, they have like a series, and it tells about what goes on behind the scenes and all of the stuff that they have to do and all of the parties and everything like that. So I'm like, I'm okay. I like that. And they have this one thing where you could be sitting down in the cafe and a Virgin Voyages person will come over and say, "Hey, I'm so and so. You're invited to a secret party. You're invited to a secret party." And they go around all day doing that. And you can go to this secret party and there's all kinds of stuff like that. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna be 58 this year. After a while, I ain't gonna be able to do this mess. So I'm going to sit here and enjoy it while I can. And if Carnival don't want my money, these other companies will. Do you see what I'm saying? I want to do Icon, but I'm waiting for a while when Icon get a little older and that price go down. When that price go down, I'm gonna do Icon. But until then, we gonna hang tight. There's one of those cruise lines. I think Ben and David. They're from England. Uh, I don't know what, Ben and David. They went and I forgot what cruise line it was, but it wasn't Royal or Virgin, but they were videotaping in in the cafeteria, and the chef came out there and started yelling at them. I wish you would, after I paid all this money. I'd get all up in your face. I wish you would tell me stop videotaping. I'm telling you right now. I wish you would, because we going to have a problem. You're not going to disrespect me, because I ain't do nothing to you. All I'm doing is videotaping my plate of food. I wish you would. See, that's what I go. Charles is my enforcer. I think he'd have to pull me away from the guy. I wish you would. That's why I said, leave me alone. Hey, cruising. So what? Hey, cruising is fun. What do you think about the fact that I know y'all don't do Carnival much. I don't think I've ever seen y'all on a Carnival video. But what do you think about that loyalty program that they've switched around? I think it's a money grab. I think it's idiotic, and they're pissing off a lot of dedicated. Um, they're pissing off a lot of dedicated, older, loyal cruisers because you have, yeah, yep, yeah, because they're taking it away, and I know you love NCO. I started buying their, I don't have a lot because I had to sell a lot of my cruise stocks, but I started buying them again, and I started buying NCL stocks. Um, I'm I really don't know what to say. And I'm not trying to be harsh. I really don't know what to say because I was just so used to Carnival. But now, once I went on Oasis, I was like, there's other stuff out there now. Exactly, exactly. And when when you're trying to just get me for my money, my senses are heightened, and I'm like, now I'm becoming cheap. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not with it. So I'm going to be looking again. I said it before, and I'll say it again. I'm going to be looking around. I'm going to be looking around, and I'm going to be making more better choices because you got a lot of older couples, older cruisers that live in Florida that will jump on a Carnival ship, and most of the platinums. I remember one time I went on a cruise, and I couldn't walk out on the deck because it was storming, so I just walked down over all the passenger decks. All the lower decks were platinum because they knew they could get an inside room, a lower deck, um, and they could enjoy it. You are running off of all of these dedicated people because you're trying to make a money grab. Yeah, you can do it for now, but guess what? After a while, it's the cruising industry is going. It's got to crash. Not like bad, but people, it's going to crash. The hype is up there because of it's the other platforms and everybody's doing this and everybody's doing that. But that hype will eventually die down, and you're gonna need your dedicated people to supplement your ships. Because remember, before COVID, they were begging people to come on ships. We'll give you this, we'll give you a free this and free that. Well, okay, but guess what? Some of us won't. Some of us won't forget, and some of us are not going to forget how you treated us. So y'all are happy with NCL? I've never done. I might. I got to look around, see what I'm ready to try. You know what I mean? What I'm ready to try. Um, and again, this is just my opinion. It's just my opinion. Um, I'm not fully dedicated to a cruise channel, but I just this channel is based on my life. Exactly. No, no, no. And older people, they're platinum, and they go these cheaper versions of the cruises because it's something that they enjoy. And see, this is why I say when they say carnivals to get, it's really not because you got all these older people. You don't hear them complaining, and they've got more platinum and more diamonds. They've got too many. So they were doing something right to get these people, these dedicated people, to come back and be dedicated. But you're trying to grab you're trying to grab the Virgin Voyages crowd. What am I saying? The hipsters, the ones that uh, the high price executives and stuff like that. Well, they're not gonna come to your ship. They're not gonna come to Carnival. They're gonna come to more of the high end places. Do you see what I'm saying? Because they're gonna be treated better. They got some of these that there's nothing but some of these ships that are out, the companies that it's nothing but a big behind yacht. You think you're gonna go? You think you're going? The high end customer is gonna spend all that? No, they're gonna go. They're not going with the fans. They're not going there. They're going over here where the chefs are. What is it? Michelin. They're Michelin star chefs. You you're messing up you're messing yourself up. And see, I started getting Norma to branch out. She's more with it now because I sent her 3 videos yesterday. When they dropped this mess, I sent her 3 videos. She said, "Yeah, well, I guess we." She said, "I always wanted to try a virgin." I'll think, say no more. Say no more. Well, we gonna try Virgin because Virgin's out of Miami. We have a certain hotel where we go, and we always request the seaside spot. So at night, hey guys, sorry about that. The phone overheated. All right, coming up next, wellness with Frugal Mama. Get your workout on. Hey, we had a week off, but back to the drama. Well, get your workout on. Coming up next, wellness with Frugal Mama. Y'all have a blessed day. Don't be stressed. Catch you later. Deuces.